Okay, Sam, so I took and uploaded one of my shots onto Snapseed. I'm going to open up Tools. On the left where it says Looks, that's just filters. So we'll open up Tools. We're just going to start with a brush. So right there. Now, you've got several different choices: dodge, burn, exposure, temperature, saturation. So we're going to start with exposure. It's an exposure brush, and you can have it to bring it down lower, or you can have it go up levels. So we are going to, like, eraser means it's just going to bring it back to neutral. So we're going to start that, and we're just going to go over kind of the whole photo first. Make sure you kind of got everything, and then you'll see just the instant transformation. Then we'll take an increase, kind of do a little test. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to zoom in, and that's how I change my brush size. And you can just kind of start filling in. I go close just to get the details and the edges that I want to highlight right away done. Then you can zoom back out, kind of fill the rest of this foreground. Then I will zoom in real close as I can and just grab a few of the branches. Oops. The bigger branches. And I'll just kind of brighten them up a little bit. And you zoom back out, and then you kind of play with it and bring out the spots that you want to bring out the most. You can anyways. So there you're kind of getting better where you want. I want my mountains to be a little bit darker. So I want to make sure they're as dark as they can go, and it looks like they are. And then I want to bring my very center up a little bit. Too much. Super easy to fix. You just go back down a little bit. So we'll just go one level. I'm going to zoom in. There we go. Just to give it a little extra brightness. If you want, just give it a little glow if you want. And if you want to clean it up a little bit, zooming in changes your brush sizes. You can kind of do some little spots just by touching, give it the dimension you want to give it. Pretty cool. I think I'm a little too dark on a couple spots here. That's looking pretty good. Now, you can hit the EV here, effect, to bring back up your things. So if you wanted to change the color temperature, right now we're at 10, right? So that's going to bring it up super warm, right? So we don't want that. We'll change to 5 and see what we get. Still warm. We'll erase that. All right, now if we go into the negatives, you can get real blue. You can really play with the effects. EV again for the effect. Saturation now, saturation. You can really get some nice pull. Just going over the Milky Way center core. And just kind of flick off to the side a little bit. That's looking pretty nice. All right, so we're going to hit check mark on that. And we can go back into tools, tune your image. So if you pull up and down, you can change brightness. You know, how much bright do you want? How dark do you want? Contrast is just going to get rid of any depth. If you don't want as much depth, it's actually a really nice tool to have. Saturation will do the entire thing. You can go to black and white or to like supercharged color, which looks a little too fakey. And then ambiance just gives mood. It's so basically it's just bringing some darkness into the corners. Highlights. Can really get some cool looking effects. You know, zoom in here. And looks cool on the small screen, but it can get a little too harsh, I think. So if you just bring a little bit in. Shadows, obviously. We'll just bring it back to 0. How warm you want the picture, how cool you want the picture. So you can just play around with all that stuff. But I'm pretty happy with the way this looks. Now there's a magic brush here. Right here, auto adjust. So let's just see what it does, just for fun. Not much. Makes it look a little more natural. So I do think I'm going to change the ambiance back a little bit. There we go. All right, so then when you are done, save image. Now be in your gallery. It's easier to find in your Google Photos. Library. Let's see if I can find where it went real quick. Snapseed is where it probably saved to. I think this is the somewhere in there. Anyways, I hope that helps.